The gap in the CV, the gap in the resume, is it really a problem? In my opinion, no, it's not a problem. There's quite a lot of posts that pop up on social media asking the question that, and it could be anything between a few weeks and a couple of years. Now, in my view, if we get together, I can wager that we can work through this period of supposed inactivity and find activity. That during this gap, you've been doing things that have been productive. The only time it's really going to be a problem is if you have genuinely sat in a room with four walls and looked at nothing but those walls and done nothing. Okay? Everything else is going to be an experience that we can build on, part of a learning process. It's somewhere where you have left that period in an improved state. Okay? This is where, unless you genuinely do nothing, and unfortunately, if you have done nothing, then you're really going to struggle left, right, and centre getting a job anyway. But we can find something that is positive. I was talking to someone, an 18-year-old earlier today, who was looking for experience. And it's the belief as well that it doesn't matter how old you are, you have got experience. So even during this CV period, you've done something that is positive. It might be something quite as daunting as some form of mental well-being process, but it's part of a process. You might not want to be 100% brutal. It depends on where we're going with it. But you can still talk about being in a process, coming out of it improved, having learned all the steps that you've done. It doesn't need to be hidden. An approach I would take is being brutally honest, that you took time out for a particular reason. If the interviewer doesn't like it, that's their problem. That you are the master of your destiny. You have taken decisions, you have made decisions for reasons that you know you can justify it and screw anyone else. Second part is that it possibly isn't really any of the interviewer's business, but we're in that position that if you don't answer the question, then the interviewer might see you as being difficult, and that might be a little bit of a negative. So we do need to present them with something. But we can dress up. We can put ourselves in a position and dress up. Might not be the best word, but we can look at the CV and address the problem before it even becomes a question. That don't necessarily leave CV gaps in the CV. Put something in the CV. And if we're looking at the CV, also ask yourself the question, what is the one question that I don't want the interviewer asking me when they're reading my CV? There's going to be something in there that the interviewer is looking for information to ask questions. Okay, what is the one thing in there that the interviewer, that you don't want the interviewer investigating? And the chances are it's going to be a CV gap. So look at it, analyse it, work out why you took the gap, and then own it. Be brutal, okay, and be brutally honest with yourself. So that's really how you deal with the CV gap. If you'd like any more information, like and subscribe. If you'd like to look at the downloads, there are downloads in the pinned comment. So, yeah, knock yourselves out.